Australia's parliament seems likely to pass a new right to disconnect bill that the federal government has proposed, preventing employers from asking their workers to keep their phones and computers turned on outside of work hours.
호주에서 일명 단절될 권리 법안이 의회를 통과할 것으로 보입니다. 이 법안에 따르면 앞으로 고용주는 근로자에게 업무 시간 외에 전화나 컴퓨터를 켜놓도록 요구할 수 없게 됩니다. So they're saying here the right to disconnect means disconnecting your phone and your computer, disconnecting yourself from work.
Yeah, not being obliged to work when it's not working hours.
Yes.
This isn't the first time we've seen this. We've seen this in Europe. I remember France in particular, there was a big fuss when this came around. Spain as well, and other countries in Europe. And it seems like it's going to happen in Australia too. And it basically means your employer, if you're Australian and working in Australia, would not be able to ask you to keep your phone on or keep your computer on after or before work. Outside of work, you can turn them off. And if your employer asks you to do that, they could be fined.
Yes.
So there could be legal repercussions here. So this is a very big deal. It seems like lawmakers are expressing support. So we've got the left-wing Greens are supporting it, the Labour Party and other smaller parliamentary groups are supporting it. There are some who are saying it'll hurt Australia's ability to compete against other countries effectively. And also it might make it difficult for employees to work flexible hours. That said, the leader of the Green Party said Australians work an average of 6 unpaid weeks each year. So this is working outside of their normal working time. And he said that amounts to about 60 billion Australian dollars of unpaid wages.
And the aim, obviously, is to improve work-life balance.
Yes, but also get paid for the work that you do. And if they make you do extra work, you should be paid for that too.
네, 그러니까요. 이제 지금 추진되고 있는 법안의 골자는 업무 시간 외에 고용주가 연락을 만약에 하면은 그 연락을 무시할 권리가 노동자에게 있는 겁니다. 그런데도 만약에 연락을 할 것을 강요한다든지 이러면은 이제 벌금을 내게 된다라는 내용이에요. 그래서 the right to disconnect. 그래서 right는 권리를 말하고 있고 disconnect는 이제 연결을 끊는다는 뜻인데 전화기나 컴퓨터나 이런 거 연결하지 말라는 거죠. 그래서 그거를 내가 전화를 안 받을 권리를 보호받는다라는 입장으로 보시면 되겠고 표현 보겠습니다. Preventing someone from doing something.
Yes, if we prevent someone from doing something, we stop them from doing it. In this case, we're stopping employers from asking their employees to keep their phones on or their computers on to answer messages. But we can use prevent in a lot of different cases. For example, Sue often prevents me from buying donuts after the show. She will pull me away from the donut store and say,
Paul.
don't do it. You can take preventative measures to stop something dangerous from happening or stop accidents from happening.
Sure.
We use this term a lot, especially when it comes to health and safety.
Prevent A from doing B. A가 B를 못하도록 막는 거죠. 그래서 preventing employers from asking their workers to keep their phones on. 고용주가 그다음에 그 고용된 직원에게 전화기 켜놔? 라고 하지 못하도록 하는 법안이다. 이렇게 보시면 되겠고요. 자, outside of work hours, 근무 시간 외에라는 뜻이죠.
This is a hard one for me to define, Sue, because I'm a freelancer. I don't really have fixed work hours.
Sure.
However, if you work in an office or you work in a factory or a store or a restaurant, there's a time when you have to come into work and there's a time when you leave work.
Yes.
Let's say it might be 8 till 5 or 9 till 6. Those are your work hours. The working time you have been assigned by your employer or you have agreed with your employer.
네. 일하는 시간, 근무 시간을 영어로는 work hours라고 합니다. 참고로 하나 더 말씀드리면 영업 시간은 business hours라고 합니다.
Office hours.
office hours도 가능합니다. 네. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Australia's parliament seems likely to pass a new right to disconnect bill that the federal government has proposed, preventing employers from asking their workers to keep their phones and computers turned on outside of work hours. Or, in other words, office hours.
Yes.
네, work hours의 또 다른 표현으로 office hours까지 살펴봤고요. 마지막 헤드라인 가볼까요?